Today we're going to take on the standard metagame challenge with Golgari Elves. So the standard metagame challenge is a best of 3 challenge on MTG Arena. You can pay, I think it's 2,000 gold to enter, and then you play until you reach 1 match loss. We're going to be trying to play Golgari Elves because I think it will be fun, and also I got a comment on one of the previous elf videos I did asking if I had a sideboard for best of 3, so why not go ahead and give Golgari Elves a chance here in the standard metagame challenge and see if the sideboard I came up for best of 3 can perform. Alright, here is the Golgari Elves list. It is pretty standard. It's the same, pretty much the same list that I've played previously. We have a bunch of mana dorks to go ahead and ramp, and then we have Elf Lords, Leap Crown Visionary can draw us cards, Imperious Perfect, Elvish Archdruid to pump up our small creatures and hopefully swing in for damage. Elvish Archdruid also is a really big card in the deck because you can tap for green equal to for each elf you control, and so you can add a bunch of green mana, and we have some mana outlets in the deck to make use of that mana and hopefully overwhelm our opponent. We have Tyvar, where you can pay 5 to give creatures you control plus X, where X is greatest power among creatures you control. So this can help you to overrun your opponent, even though it doesn't give trample. And then you also have Genesis Wave, which you reveal the top X card as your library, put any number of permanent cards with mana value X or less from among them onto the battlefield, which can be pretty explosive. We're also kind of built further around Elvish Archdruid with Tyvar, Jubilant, Brawler, because it says you may activate abilities of creatures you control as though those creatures have haste, and the +1 also untaps up to 1 target creature. One of the weaknesses of Elvish Archdruid is that you kind of have to have it stick around 1 turn before you can get value out of it. So Tyvar, Jubilant, Brawler helps us get around that because we can play it, tap it for mana, untap it, tap for even more mana, and hopefully get off a massive Genesis Wave that way. And then we also have Tribute to the World Tree to draw us cards. So that's the core of the deck, and then we have the lands. One big add from Aether Drift that probably can't be understated is the Wastewood Verge here. Just having another untapped green source is very nice. That also taps for black so that we can cast our other spells. We are only playing a few black spells, but we have a couple more in our sideboard, so it is still nice. Cavern of Souls hopefully will help us stop getting our elves countered, so that's the idea behind that. And then 3 Tree City, you name a creature type as it enters, and then you can pay 2, tap it to add mana equal to the number of creatures of you control of that type for 1 mana color. So that will hopefully generate us a bunch of mana. Now for the sideboard, I think this is the kind of important part here is how can we tech ourselves against something, or some of the things that we will match up against. We have Wiltleaf Liege, which is actually an elf, and it's a lord, which works well into discard spells because we just get to put it onto the battlefield. We're playing 3 of those. And then the next thing is I was kind of worried about kind of removal heavy matchups, and so I have a bunch of cards that I'm not sure they're going to be good into removal heavy matchups, but I added them to go ahead and try them out. So we have Deathbloom Ritualist is 5 mana, and it taps for X mana, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. So we can play this, generate a bunch of mana to Genesis Wave. We also have some other cards here in Hirsute Persistence. We can reanimate later in the game and use all that mana from like Deathbloom Ritualist that way. Similarly, we have Awakening Hall to try and reanimate a bunch of things, as well as Funeral Room to drain our opponent. But the real reason we're playing Virtue of Persistence is I'm afraid of like the most aggro of the red decks that have the Cacophony Scamp Fling type hands that we're just going to roll over and die too fast. So I am squeezing in a bit of removal in the sideboard here in Lockwayne Scorn. He was -3/-3 and you gain 2 life, so hopefully that'll help us in those aggro matchups. Not a huge fan of playing a bunch of removal in elves because from what I saw, most of the elf lists, there aren't really a ton, or there's not really any listed on Untap. So we're kind of freewheeling here, but most of them you generally don't play a lot of removal because then you're not drawing elves and then you're losing out on your synergy, and if you remove too many synergy pieces, then your deck kind of doesn't do as much, is the thought process, I think. Anyways, we are playing another kind of not necessarily synergy piece in Scavenging Ooze, but really want a Graveyard Hate in the deck or in our sideboard so we don't just lose to like Reanimator combo decks. And Scavenging Ooze is pretty good as well, because if there's a lot of removal going around, you can exile your creatures and make a big ooze and gain a bunch of life and beat your opponent up that way. Next up, we have Wildborn Preserver. Wildborn Preserver, I have it in the sideboard here because I like that it's a flash creature that we can try and sneak in and around removal, and it also gives us another mana outlet because whenever another non-human creature you control enters, you can pay X and put X counters on the creature. We're playing Reclamation Sage for Artifact and Enchantment Hate, and then we have Tyvar Sand to try and dodge some removal, and we do also have a Restless Cottage in the sideboard, just because having a man land into more removal matchups can help you kind of get through that removal, because, well, they can't, most decks, or not a ton of decks, have things to deal with non-basic. So anyways, that is the deck. Let's hop in some games and see how we can do. All right, I will say if we like completely flunk out in the first match, I will probably run another one back to back here in this video. But this hand seems interesting because Dwynen's Elite doesn't really do anything without a 1-drop. Opponent goes first, 2 lands. We are playing 22 in the deck, so that could be also a problem. So I think we're incentivized mulligan here, and that seems way better because we have Llanowar Elves and Elvish Archdruid. Probably get rid of the Stalwart, though maybe I should keep it. I do like Tyvar. Alright, I think I'm going to put back an Archdruid against what I really want to do, but I think it's the smartest here. Run out of Llanowar Elves. Opponent has 1 white open, so they are playing Azori, so it might... Nope. Is it Esper, Pixie? And the the -3/-3 of Nowhere to Run gets around Tyvar, giving Indestructible, which kind of stinks. We need to find a non-3 drop so that we can actually play it. Alright, well, this is going to be absolutely brutal, but we can sideboard in the alright, I'm kind of mad about drawing our second tribute. We're only playing 2 of them, but opponent, they have the Kaido on top of it all. That's brutal.
Don't be jealous of my the housewarming.
Yeah, I don't...
Is its own weapon.
We're gonna have to think about our sideboarding here pretty carefully here, but yeah, what do we want to sideboard in? Because I think this round is completely over, and it's helpful for my mental here to think about what do we sideboard in. I think we would definitely want the 4 drops that if the opponent plays like Hopeless Nightmare, we just get for free. Tributes, they don't seem that good into their deck, because if the opponent just removes everything I play, that will be problematic. I'm not entirely sure that we want to play the man land, but maybe having another land? No, I think we just didn't draw how we wanted to. We drew into almost exclusively 3 drops, which is pretty, just kind of unlucky. Virtue, I don't think we want. I think we stay on the kind of creature plan. We could put in Funeral Room potentially and Deathbloom Ritualist, but yeah, this is pretty much over. By pretty much, it is over, but that kills that, and we are dead. Not conceding because I just want to take as much time as I can to in between matches or in between rounds here to be ready. think we want Reclamation Sage. Tyvar stand doesn't work into Nowhere to Run. Cottage. Oh yeah, I was talking about Wiltleaf Lieges. Imperious Perfect, probably not good. I mean, it does make tokens, so it is something on its own, but I think we prefer to play a lot of our other cards here. Tribute, I'm gonna just cut, to be honest. Play Wiltleaf Liege. Funeral Room. Glissa actually is really good here. Could go down a Genesis Wave for Funeral Room. And then Deathbloom Ritualist also seems alright. Maybe we go down another Tyvar, or another Genesis Wave, though I could go down something else here. Yeah, maybe I go down Tyvar. Alright, run it back. We got it. On the play for Elves. We got this. We also have the Discard Hate. I think we play first. Okay, this hand seems pretty good. We have the Wiltleaf Liege, we have Llanowar Elves into cards. Or we have Llanowar Elves turn 1, so. Underground River into Dreams of Steel and Oil. So bye-bye Wiltleaf Liege, or they go for Leafcrown Visionary. Leafcrown Visionary, I'll just play that out, and I'm going to play out the Elves even though we can't draw a card with it. I think it's just worth getting it on the battlefield here. Put as much power down as quickly as possible. That's kind of what Elves does. Go for the Throat. Wow, the opponent sideboarded into sideboarded in a bunch of removal, which is not quite what I was expecting. I think I'll just play another one so I can go ahead and get value out of the one I have. Hopefully the opponent's not playing... Oh, they could be playing Temporary Lockdown. We do have Reclamation Sage for that part of that reason here. Nowhere to Run is interesting. Well, swing. Probably should have swung with both of the Visionaries. Should have probably held one back in case they... Well, actually held both of them back in case they have removal for one of them. They could trade. Well, so far, can't complain about this game, but feels like the opponent sideboarded in a bunch of removal and drew it, but not much of their game plan. All right, 1-1. Dream is still alive. Do we put anything else in? Or do we change our plan at all? Wiltleaf Liege, I think we like it. Yeah, maybe a Scavenging Ooze. Go down to Dwynen for a Scavenging Ooze. Seems slightly better. Like go down both Dwynen for Scavenging Ooze, or actually no. We go down Dwynen for Wildbone Preserver, I think. I think that's actually slightly better. Because Dwynen is good for the Archdruid like plan, but if everything's getting removed, we want the flash effect and the pump creature that kind of is self-sufficient, I think. I don't know. We can dream. Opponent at Dreams of Steel and Oil was pretty frustrating, but because if it was a Hopeless Nightmare, oh, that would have been glorious. We would have just gotten the free creature. Okay, this hand is fun, but it's 3-drop, 3-drop, 5-drop, 3-drop, and I don't know, 10-drop, if we want to call it that. So, not a hand. This hand, we have Reclamation Sage, so I'm tempted to keep it for that reason. Tyvar is nice, so maybe we keep, but do we get rid of the Genesis Wave? Like, what do we draw? We get rid of Genesis Wave. Because we'll draw into stuff, surely. Reclamation Sage can destroy their Hopeless Nightmare and stuff. At least that's the hope. Scavenger turn 1 is scary. Wow. It seems like this deck is ready to draw 3 drops, which, I mean, we have a lot of cheap elves, so, or we have like the 1-mana elf, so it makes sense trying to play 3 drops on turn 2, but not feeling the love these past games. Definitely not feeling it. We could run out Tyvar and Mill. I think that's an okay plan. We have another that we might just whiff, and that could be pretty bad, but... Oh, the Funeral Room Mill actually kind of stinks. The question is, does our opponent go for our Tyvar? That's like the thing that I'm not sure. I mean, if it gets a removal spell and an attack, I feel like Tyvar probably did okay. It does get a removal spell and attack, which, you know, we'll take. I think we hold on to Rex Sage. Do I just play Elves and Tyvar again? Tyvar's gonna die in the air, so maybe we play Elves and then Rex Sage the Isolation. I think that's actually probably okay. Yeah, they're gonna get a lot of use out of there's nowhere to run, but I think we need to keep moving. Man, it feels funny playing Rex Sage in Standard. Opponent goes for the Elves over the Rex Sage. Interesting. I think we just take it. Our deck is a deck that cares about having things on board. We can play this Tyvar knowing that we'll get something back, which is very nice. Dang, we are milling a lot of those 3-drops that I kind of wish I had. We want to keep Tyvar here if we can, so we will probably try and block, though Tyvar might just be gone. I like that Nowhere to Run has the counterplay of you can play things that make it indestructible, or make your creatures indestructible. Oh wait, you can't. Sorry, I'm bitter. Like, even if I had like Tyvar Stand, those sorts of things, those don't work in Standard anymore. Hexproof isn't a word. I mean, they don't even print it on things anyways, so... Also funny that, like, a lot of the Standard decks that are... A lot of the Standard decks that are, like, popular are also, like, present in, Pioneer. And Pioneer is supposed to be, you know, stronger format. Wow, we are just missing on all our other creatures here. Well, no, I will not Genesis Wave, but we will try and do it next turn. If we can keep Tyvar around, I think we're good. Nurturing Pixie means that that sigh explains what it means. I mean, they want it dead, it's dead. Alright, here goes nothing. Ah, the creature's gust run it. If you have a counterspell for this opponent, I will explode. 5. That's not particularly good value. Our Our Funeral Hall is in the graveyard as well. Our Awakening Hall is in the graveyard. Opponent also has Witch's Vanity just to make sure that they could remove me and my soul. Tree City, great draw. Zombie, because I'm dead. Alright, well, I think this means we're out of this standard or meta game competition. What is this thing called again? We'll find out. No, I did not have fun. Esper Pixie is one of the most miserable decks that you could ever imagine playing against. What do we get? We get a quarter of it back. Run it back. Pick the elves. And see if we can win. In hindsight, maybe sideboarding out a Tyvar or two would be better because that Tyvar did pretty much nothing. Opponent goes first. That is, why does this keep happening? Opponent goes first. No 1-drop elf, and we're stuck on 2 lands potentially. We have Genesis Wave in the hand. Alright, this is better. Drop the Imperious Perfect. Maybe we play the Stalwart turn 1. Just because I'm afraid of the opponent removing it, but... Alright, we'll just play the elves. We need this Leaf Crown Visionary to kind of stick around. Oh no, it's Omni combo. Great. Alright, we can just run out everything, I think. Don't know how much removal Omniscience combo plays. So. Should also be able to draw quite a few cards thanks to Leaf Crown Visionary, though if the opponent has one of their spot removal spells, I will be quite sad. Opponent doesn't do anything. Perfect. They could have a counterspell, but opponent does have something. Could counter Tyvar, which would be very bad for us, but I'm gonna pay. Okay, no response. That's good. Run out another creature next turn. We can try and swing in with Tyvar and pump up our creatures +4/+4. The opponent might actually have Day of Judgment. I'm surprised they didn't have Stock Up. Stock Up seems like a pretty good card. Or Omniscience combo. I'm not gonna even talk about it. Nah, I don't think we want to mill with Tyvar yet. We'll just play Dwynen's Elite, give ourselves something to keep Tyvar indestructible. It's just gonna be in our Forest Dispersal. We need to put Rexage in. And Scavenging Ooze, and then I think we're pretty much alright. Maybe we put in, there's Stock Up. Maybe we put in some... the protection spell, but not entirely sure we will do that. Cavern of Souls. You're playing Cavern of Souls for that one creature? I'll play this pre-combat. And then swing. Probably gonna bounce Tyvar again. No. I mean, we're gonna be running out into a sweeper, but I don't see much of a reason not to play Loamspeaker. Alright, opponent is digging. They don't have Omniscience in the graveyard yet. Gone through the top 20 cards of their library. There's Abuela's Awakening, so they presumably have the reanimation spell already. Blast Zone, that is kind of rough for us, but they can't activate it yet. And so we should be able to swing in next turn. Question is, do they have anything to stop our attacks? Temporary Lockdown 2. Still have Tyvar. We can get a land? No. Still can't kill him even if we hit a land. Elvish Archdruid is cool. See if we can find a lord. Nope. Swift. Fair enough. Down to 5. Stock up. Still no Omniscience in the graveyard. They've gone through presumably like the top 35 cards of their library. It's like stock up looks at the top 5 and then puts the rest on the bottom of their library. So they've gone through a significant portion of their library. The fact that they haven't found anything yet is pretty impressive. Hello? Got removal for Tyvar? Probably busy emoting or something. I don't understand what the holdup is. Here's Omniscience, and we are dead. Show me the beans, opponent. Ours disperse, or Abuela's Awakening to get back Omniscience. And then the invasion means it's game. Okay. We can get rid of... 3 drops aren't particularly good. Glissa actually gets rid of enchant. We want Scavenging Ooze. I want Rexage, and then 5R Stand plus Cottage seems good. What do we cut? Could play Wildborn Preserver as well. It's like a flash threat. Dwynen's elite, or sorry, Dwynen's elite, not particularly good. Other cards not really relevant. Tribute is cool, but I don't think we need it in this particular matchup. Tyvar seems a little slow, as well as Genesis Wave. And Tyvar has kind of been owning us. I mean, we got to use the mana with it last game, but I think we go down a bit like this and run it back. Winnable, winnable. Yep. All right, we're on the play. We can stop this Omniscience combo, I believe. I mean, we have Scavenging Ooze and Wreck Sage and turn 1 Llanowar Elves, so could be much worse. Dwynen's Elite, do love me that. Tap the Pain Lens and then swing in for 1. Every damage here counts. Probably will need to get the Scavenging Ooze down. The opponent's probably gonna be searching, but we wanna, okay. Oh, opponent. Of course we're playing Scavenging Ooze in our elf deck. What do you mean? I gotta imagine they didn't expect that too much, but come on. It's standard. And the standard has had some insane amount of graveyard shenanigans, so. Alright, where is our third land? Because this Wreck Sage is ready to party. Surveil land. So that gives them a chance to find something on. They keep it on top, so they might like it. Draw discard. If I see an Omniscience go in, I'm sad. Like, very sad. And not Omniscience. And we found the land. And it's a green source. And it's a Wreck Sage. Thank you. Coming back. And we get another Dwynen's Elite trigger. And next turn we play Elvish Archdruid. Things get big. And whammy, please. Otherwise, we gotta run out Archdruid and try and rebuild if they have another temporary lockdown or Day of Judgment. I mean, certainly possible that they have another removal spell. Or another sweeper, rather. Please. Please let me. Just one. Two mana open. Okay, it's an archaeologist, so they're just gumming up the board. They whiff. Or they don't take anything. I play Archdruid? Whoa. Archdruid. No. I swing in. So they could draw, discard, and reanimate on their turn if they're particularly lucky. So do I need to hold back the mana to activate Ooze? I think so, but if we swing in like this, they killed Llanowar or Leafcrown Visionary? Maybe? Or maybe they just try and soak damage. I think they probably just try and soak damage. Okay, they actually go for the Lord, which is interesting. Doesn't really matter how I order the damage. They go down to 4. I guess I could have pushed them down to 2, but it doesn't really make much of a difference here. They don't have the land drop yet, so they can't go land drop. They still can go land drop Omniscience in the yard, reanimate, but they didn't get Omni in the graveyard, so another moment of truth. That's good. All good. The ooze and the Wreck Sage sideboard tech. It's coming in handy. 2 mana open. Bars Dispersal could be here. Do they have a 2-mana counterspell? Because I kind of want a Archdruid and Genesis Wave. Or that is going to be 6. If we hit a bunch of lands, we can just cast Leaf Crown Visionary. Ooh, 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 ooh. Put that on Elf. And I think we have lethal. This is a thought. Let's go. All right. Still fighting chance. I'm scared. I'm scared, man. Tribute. Genesis Wave. I mean, Genesis Wave won us that one. Tyvar. I don't know if we want Tyvar. I think more Genesis Wave. That felt good. Just run it back. Alright. Just one. We want one win. We can do it. The opponent's on the play again. Pretty sure in the Pro Tour, a lot of the top 8 matchups, particularly between the red decks, are determined by who went first in those best of 5 matches, but maybe I'm wrong. That is kind of like an interesting thought, is how much does going first really matter in best of 3? Ooh. Oh. Glissa? That seems pretty good. Because Glissa can... We did it! Oh my goodness, the opponent got stuck on one land. I don't know why they... What? Or maybe they didn't get stuck on one land? I don't know what inspired them to keep that hand and play that one, but we're 1 win deep. See how we can do. Alright, we get to play first. We're against the standard bearer. Which is intimidating. Means they played a fair amount of standard games, if I recall correctly. Turn 2 Tribute or turn 2 Glissa seems nice if we can make it happen. Opponent has one of the best arts for their sleeves. I think that's the same cat from Harmless Offering, but I mean, it looks very similar. Oh man, it feels so good to actually have won one. I was afraid that after that first loss to that second, or in our second try here against Omniscience, we were gonna end up cooked, but the opponent did not draw into enough of their removal. I feel like they got a really unlucky game 2 when like they went through more than half their deck, I think, and they didn't find a Omniscience, or maybe they got it into their hand and then didn't have a way to discard it. Ooh, Bant Toxic, eh? Okay. What does Bant Toxic do? It's pretty, I mean, like, Toxic feels like an aggressive strategy, so we don't really have removal, so we kind of have to match aggression with aggression, I feel like. So playing out Glissa seems like the right move. Tribute would be nice to get on the board and try and start developing. Archdruid could get us some mana eventually. Maybe Archdruid is the most upside play. I don't think Bant plays a ton of removal. I guess the new Bant Toxic decks play... this town isn't big enough. So that... Or ain't big enough. They play at this town ain't big enough to bounce multiple of their or target multiple of their creatures for 2 mana. That's kind of annoying, but we do have Glissa to hopefully blow up their artifacts. Do we swing in for 1? Yeah. We're never gonna trade Llanowar Elves for a 1/1, so. And Eccentric gets rid of Glissa, so we are just getting absolutely owned by some frustrating effects. Tyvar. And please don't exile another one of our things. What could we sideboard in this matchup? I think we sideboard in Reclamation Sage because it blows up Skrelv's Might, or Skrelv, Annex Sentry, Shell. Oh god. This is playing this standard meta thing has really been a who's who of cards that have made me miserable. The Pixie deck with all of its cards, Sheltered by Ghosts. 1 mana, do you have a Spell Pierce? I guess our opponent has a Spell Pierce, or they have 1 mana. They probably just have a 1 mana interaction spell, I guess. You can play their second tribute, and then all of our elves from there on should draw cards, or from going forward. Opponent seems to be having a bit of a trouble in terms of putting like multiple creatures on the board. But with the Skrelv, they can just give their Annex Sentry the ability to be not blocked by green, and then we have a grand time ahead of us. Oh, and you can just Shelter by Ghost it. Because clearly you have the fourth one, right? Ah, that counter hurt. Or Llanowar Loamspeaker now is big enough to party, so the opponent is going to have to start paying the taxes to get in and get by. Murex, yep. They have another spell in their hand, so they have to have something. That's good. Or like, maybe it's just another land, you know? Let's think on the bright side. An Sentry gonna connect because, well, turns out you can't really block something sometimes. And I would get those creatures back, but they're exiled, so I will just tick down Tyvar to try and get something. Nope, we just mill over our other Tyvars. Cool. Nice. Well, go in with Loamspeaker and maybe trade off Llanowar Elves for a Might. You know, one sideboard card that I thought about playing, which I kind of wish I did at this point, is the 4 mana Fade from History. Blow up all artifacts and enchantments. If we had that in our sideboard here, ooh. Their Skrelvs, their Sheltered by Ghosts, their Annex Sentries, all would be gone. Going up to 7. Pump spell? Nope. There is the Aspirant's Ascent, which I think their deck might play. But Citanul Stalwart off the top does not feel like the best. Got like a 2-turn clock on us. Opponent life total seriously in danger. got 26. Can't believe they didn't block. Oh, and distorted curiosity off the top. That blows. I think if they have the right cards, we're done. Yep. That would do it. Alright, what do we put in? Whoa. Sage, we've already determined that. Tyvar stand? No. Virtue? Doesn't kill certain things, so it doesn't feel particularly useful. I think we just go Sage, go down Tyvar. Man, Tyvar Jubilant Brawler is proving to me why he is absolute buns. Kind of annoying. He's very good with Elvish Archdruid, and beyond that, this deck is not playing enough cheap creatures to make good use of his -2, it feels. Do I like Wildborn Preserver here? That's like the one thing I'm asking myself. Yeah, maybe I go down full Tyvar. Go down a, oh, that's not what I wanted. Preserver, Tyvar stand. We're just on the beatdown plan. And then go down Tribute. Go down Genesis Wave, I guess. So we know our opponent's removal is not really like removal. Tyvar seems too bad. I think that's a solid plan. Okay. I mean, we have elves on the curve. Opponent decides. Seed Core turn 1 into turn 1 Venerated Rock Priest. A little obnoxious, but that's just me. We'll hold up Tyvar stand. Their deck gets more potent if we get a single poison counter, so I kind of like not doing anything here to kind of force the opponent off. Alright, well, I'm gonna play Imperious Perfect here. We'll draw one. Like to find some lands. Didn't want to run out the Archdruid because I was afraid of a counter spell, because there is that 2 mana make the end. Get rid of the Perfect so they can swing in. Fine. They're tapped out so we can run out Archdruid. We top deck a land, which is awesome. I will not pay this time, and then next time I probably will. I've done Big Crown Visionary. Should be able to start drawing with the Imperious Perfect here. We have a lot of mana and a lot of creatures. Tyvar stand with Elvish Archdruid is pretty good, so we can swing pretty hard, or we're just gonna flood the board. Our deck doesn't really play removal, so Venerated Rot Priest is not that crazy into us. That blows, but alright. Play a Leafcrown Visionary, draw a card. Land. Good. Now we can hold up a Tyvar stand here. One hold back blockers if I can, but we do want to start swinging in. That's probably sufficient. Okay, well, hindsight, maybe I shouldn't have swung in with the 3/3s, but perhaps I could have played out this game slightly differently, trying to hold up Tyvar stand at certain points, but I don't know. I feel like we gotta move fast, but maybe that's just my like perception of the strongest poison matches I've faced, where it's just everything they do proliferates and you just die. You just die. Another Lord seems pretty good. And draw a card. Tribute seems alright. I'll draw another card because I can't even play. Wanted to. And then swing in. Keep back the Stalwart so I have mana for Tyvar's stand. Seems like they might be trying to bounce multiple things here. It's gonna be problematic for us. Because they bounce multiple lords and then multiple do multiple blocks. So maybe I was hasty in attacking with the visionaries. Yeah, they're gonna bounce 2 lords and so they're gonna be able to kill. Or they're not. Or they're just gonna go for a single Serum Snare. Alright, we're gonna use the Tyvar stand and hopefully this is good. I don't know if that was ideal, but okay. Evened up. Whew. And alright, next match we're not going first, so that kind of is rough, but yeah, I still don't think Virtue is what we want. I think we have what we need in our current list. I don't think the cottage does anything for us, so this is kind of for all the marbles. If we can win this one, that puts us at 2 and 1 for our best of 3 matches with this deck, which would be pretty cool. Because we flunked out of that first one. Alright, this hand, I think it's alright. Don't have Rex Age, but it's not the fastest because we have Stalwart instead of Elves, but alright. Verge, Venerated Rock Priest. Huh. Next turn, doing an elite is very nice. Do you have the Shelter Begus? I will not block. Or do you have the Serum Snare? That's actually have a bigger concern, I guess. Right? Dwynen elite time. could bounce the Stalwart. We wouldn't get the elf token, which would slow us down and also require us to replay the Stalwart to get more mana. Maybe I should have ran out Loamspeaker so we had guaranteed 3 mana next turn. It lost. Huh? Okay. I was not expecting that after the first 2 games where they didn't really play any hard removal. They played removal like Annex Century. Alright. Okay, we did draw a useful card. We play out Archdruid, hope it lives. I can block air creatures if they stay at 1 power. And then we can get a bunch of mana by playing Dwynen's Elite. We'll have tap for 3. But maybe that's too hopeful. Alright, well, that's game. It was a fun one. Alright, I've run out of Archdruid so that maybe we can do something explosive, but they could just keep... I'm on a 2-turn... Actually, I'm on a 1-turn clock. They just win because they can activate Skrell, and then they can give their creature unblockable, and then it also gets additional toxic, so we just lose. Well, turns out removal at every point of the curve is pretty good. Alright, we're just gonna make this into a marathon of games. Got back half of what we put in. One more try. We're not losing that much gold. I say as we've already lost 1,500. Or no, 3,500 gold for nothing. Actually nothing. Alright, we get to play first. Llanowar Elves, turn 1. Seems good. Put it on Elf. Elves out. Opponent. Red. Hard Claw. In that case, I will cast Loamspeaker as a blocker. And then pass. They don't have access to red mana, so we can block without any concern here. I could trade the Llanowar Elves, but not entirely sold on that. Don't ask me why. Do I just double Leaf Crown Visionary? Seems kind of silly, but pretty much the most efficient way to use my mana here. And then our Llanowar Loamspeaker is pretty much impervious to damage. The opponent's hand has been a little bit slow, but they will probably show us what they've been sandbagging because of their lands here. Now they have access to red mana for spells. Red Lightning Strike. There's one. And then go ahead, attack in. Not gonna block. Tyvar, Jubilant, Brawler. could get back that Leaf Crown Visionary. Whoa, no.
Whoever slays the most fine Phyrexians wins.
Really didn't mean to actually cast it. Alright, guess I'll turn this back to stop it. I didn't really move it out, I just kind of ended up double clicking on it. Oh. I wanted to cast Tyvar, the Pummeler, because it would have been pretty big, and it could give it indestructible. Oh. What? What? I was not expecting that. Dwynen's Elite seems pretty good here. We can also get back our Loamspeaker. And also draw a card. Now we have disposable creatures. As bad as that is to say, they are kind of disposable. Well, we can't get back our Loamspeaker yet, but next turn we can play Tyvar the Pummeler and use it as a blocker, but the opponent is going to eventually draw Monstrous Rage. And that will become a problem. Maybe, just maybe, we'll draw Archdruid and then cast a massive Genesis. Bye, Tyvar. It was nice knowing you. Wow. No attacks. Wouldn't have expected that, but we'll go ahead and draw a card. Alright, that's a nice creature. Now we have an indestructible blocker. And then really would love an Archdruid. The triple Genesis wave in hand is incredibly awkward. We can put in our virtues into from our sideboard. So maybe that's good. But our opponent, they had a really slow draw this game. And we're going first. I forgot about that. It's only going to get worse. Darn. Manifold Mouse? Yikes. They didn't offspring it? Opponent? I think you had 2 mana open. Not great at counting, but that does look like enough. Oh, just want to trigger the Ember Heart Challenger. Okay. Burst Lightning on Leaf Crown Visionary. Or are they going face? Nope. On the Visionary. Well, I can't activate Tyvar at that particular moment because otherwise it goes poorly. They could target their Ember Heart Challenger to give it double strike. They could also give it trample. Either way, it doesn't really matter. Tyvar can still block because he's the pummeler. You got that right. He pummels. Okay, they just full send. Wasn't particularly expecting that, but block. I mean, I could jump the other one, but I don't think I want to. Tap an untapped creature. Gives Tyvar indestructible. And, that seemed like a massive misplay. Alright, well, don't have enough mana to activate Tyvar's ability to overrun, so we're just gonna maybe to chill for a second and pass it back. They also lost access to their card draw of Ember Heart Challenger, so that was particularly particularly egregious, that misplay. Tyvar, not a fan of dying. He's the Pummeler. Of course he goes indestructo. I kind of want to make a commander deck with Tyvar the Pummeler, but maybe that's too straightforward. I don't know. I feel like it's probably fine. Like, it's probably not even that great of a commander because it's not card draw in the command zone. So, it's not ramp or card draw in the command zone, so probably not that bad. Like, not overpowered. I could just take the damage. And then next turn, I have 5 mana. I swing in for 4 plus 6. That's 10 plus 4 is 14 plus 5 is 19. If we draw a Lord, we could just win. I will block the Manifold Mouse, I think. Actually, no. A Lord wouldn't cause us to win. But I did draw one, so cool. I think I pass one turn, and then we should be good to go. What did our opponent draw? Could it be the one card they needed? Is it Monstrous Rage? Opponent has looked at the top 16 cards of their deck and haven't found a single Monstrous Rage. Alright, well, that's probably Monstrous Rage. Damn it. So how big does it go up to? 4/3 double striker. So block like that and that. So they could activate Rockface Village as well, so that could deal. We do this. I think that's sufficient. Oh, it was lightning strike. What? Funny. That was not on my bingo card. Well, I think we get to win this first match here. We'll see. Definitely awkward when you're playing red, or if you're playing like a red deck in this sort of situation where it's like, just need to get that last little bit and I have things on board. Can I just keep pushing? And sometimes you push when you should have paused. No, I don't know what the opponent should be doing. I'm not gonna. Okay, really? Alright. Land is interesting. Alright, well, okay, the opponent makes it easy. I was thinking about what should I attack in with. Virtue. Tribute's not that bad. Tyvar is not particularly good. Play Scoos. because when things die, we get to eat them up and heal ourselves. Our stand doesn't seem terrible. Go down Imperious Perfect, maybe. Could play a Funeral Room. Seems a little troll, but just saying. Alright, we'll keep it like that. We're in the lead, but the opponent goes first this game, and they are red, so. And we may have made our deck weaker to try and deal with them, so who knows. No turn one. Wait. What? You go first? I thought we went first last game. Huh? Okay. Sure. Rockface Village, Heartfire Hero. That's not bad. Play a Loamspeaker. Loamspeaker is good because he has a booty. He's got a 1/3 stat line. Also, the art for this card is just phenomenal. Strike. Tree City. Sure, we can dream. Play Archdruid. We have all of our lords in our hand that we don't want to really block or attack or really much with. They're just here for the value that they provide, but fortunately for us, they might have to do... Oh, Double Hard Claw is scary, but not that scary now that we got turn between us. Or we can block. You know, Monstrous Rage could be kind of ugly. Underheart Challenger, okay. Wow, these hands from the opponent have been not great. I'm not saying that they're playing bad, I'm saying that these hands have just been brutal for them. Alright, we'll spend this for 4. I think that should hit pretty much anything we could want. Okay, that seems pretty good. Put this on Elf. It's a 6/6 first strike death touch against some mono red. Don't mind if I do. And next Genesis wave gets even more fun. But I feel like we just got absurdly lucky. The opponent is kind of bummed out on their draws. Feels like they should be playing 1 or 2 more spells to target their Ember Challenge. So I guess you have Manifold Mouse plus like Monstrous Rage for it. Opponent backs off. And if you already cast one, why not cast another? Cast this for 7. Probably not going to be as good as that one, but we'll see. That's a lot of lands, but that is a lot of elves. And Scavenging Ooze is pretty cool. Good swinging with the Glissa. Though, I don't think I will. I think next turn we'll start swinging in. We can eat our creatures out of our graveyard with the Ooze. We can also Tyvar stand to kill them next turn because we have a bunch of mana thanks to 3-Tree City. So we can give whatever's unblocked a big damage buff. I'm not going to waste Tyvar stand saving 1 elf when I have this many. Okay, opponent gets in there. That's interesting. Well, I guess the game is over. Alright, 1 win deep. Alright. Time to... I officially decide if we if we can make elves work. This is the round. I don't know why I'm saying that, but to be fair, this is the kind of comeback. Oh my god. Authority of the consoles. That means they're on mono white token control probably, or some other control deck, but wait, they're just on mono white cats. Okay. Not exactly what I was anticipating, but could play down Tyvar, ticket up, untap the elves, play a Stalwart. They could swing in on it, but whatever. This just forces them to attack something else, is kind of the thought process. Maybe I should just be developing my Elite Crown Visionary and trying to draw cards with it, but we can just use Tyvar as mana each turn. All batch recruit. Okay, so it is a Selesnya cage deck, maybe? That was not quite what I was anticipating. I was hoping to play out Tyvar and... oh. I don't know. Tyvar the Pummeler is just here to get pummeled, I guess. Or sorry, Tyvar the Jubilant Brawler is here to be jubilant about getting brawled. Doesn't work as good. Wow. Really not sure what our opponent is doing exactly, but hey, it's Selesnya stuffs, and that can sometimes be pretty good, especially if they have the Convoke, like Knight Errant of Eos. I've played several Selesnya, well, I played a Selesnya Convoke deck back on the channel maybe a month or two ago, and it performed quite, or like reasonably well. It was pretty fun, because you could also convoke out the Ancient Imperious Ore for a massive 2020. Whoa. Opponent leaves the Brawler alone. That's interesting. I guess they just want to race. I mean... I could see if I could catch the opponent unaware. Of what Tyvar does. We'll find out. Do you block? It's a trap. But please block. Okay. That's not necessarily going to make it worth, I think. No, I forgot I get to draw cards. What the heck is wrong with me? Okay, Tavern. Intriguing. On top Tyvar. And turn. Opponent has gained, I don't know, 6 life with this Authority of the Consoles. Kind of annoying turn 1 if you're trying to race your opponent, but Tyvar, the Pummeler, should be able to start doing things, though the opponent probably is sheltered by Ghost, and then the entire game gets tossed out the window. Trapped in the screen. Okay, well, it's not sheltered by Ghost, but it is. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Opponent. Oh, what are they gonna pick? Opponent is reading every single card now. Okay, they go for it. That's honestly, I think better for us than if they took Tyvar, because Tyvar can start giving everything +3/+3 whenever we want to attack, which seems pretty good. Oh. Do I Tyvar tick down first? Or do I try and defend Tyvar? Alright, we'll try and defend Tyvar maybe. No blocks? That is going to be 6 plus a lot, basically. 18. Okay, that was more than I expected, but you know, Tyvar the Pummeler seems pretty good. Though our opponent just kind of misused their removal spell, to be fair. And also if they just whip out a Shelter by Ghosts, we keel over. Ethereal Armor? Intriguing, so it's... Oh. I didn't know you were like that, opponent. Okay. Well, that hurt. It hurt my soul. What do we put in? Thinking Wildborn Preserver has reach, but maybe that's just the wrong thought process because the Preserver is never going to be, or is going to struggle to keep up in terms of size. I like Glissa. Rex Sage seems pretty good. Don't think we want tons of Tyvar. Do we go down Perfect? Do we go Dwynen's lead? I don't like it. Alright, we'll go down Imperious Perfect, put in a Tyvar stand. A Funeral Room, Awakening Hall? No. They don't really put things into the graveyard, I don't think. They put us into the graveyard, gosh darn it. Oh, if it was like literally, oh, like if, that just felt bad. It felt bad. Don't know how to describe it other than that felt bad. So close, but so far. Yeah, I mean, we got them down to 1. Elves into Archdruid into Hopes and Dreams. Counter this opponent. Whoops. Okay. I mean, we probably will start off ripping off Genesis Waves if we have to roll into anything. Opponent has both their mana colors. Spellmaker's Shop. Alright, Dwynen's Elite. It's pretty much mana neutral, so we can play that out. And then Genesis Wave if we want. I'm gonna do it. 1, 2, 3. Seems like it worked. Dear goodness. Oh, we did it. We did it. We had a good game. That's all I care about. Even if we lose, that's what that felt fun. Yeah, try and chump block opponent. Try. I dare you. Tap. Just add a bit more mana. I think we need... I don't think we have enough elves, I feel like. Do you guys feel that way? I feel like we're missing, like, just a few more. Okay, we probably shouldn't be tapping these for mana, but Just think about it. You get to look at the top 13 cards and put them onto the battlefield. Yep. 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 We hit the one of Tyvar, which is hilarious. Oh, we hit another Tyvar. Like the Tyvar Pummeler. So I think we now should have lethal. Everything's going to draw us cards. No, we're not going to do any paying this game. Oh gosh. Okay, maybe maybe we made a mistake. Had fun, doesn't matter. Alright, we have another Genesis Wave just in case. In case anything goes wrong. I will play an Elvish Archdruid. No, I will use my Painland, thank you. And then we have Tyvar the Brawler on the battlefield. No, I don't really need that card, I think. Oh my goodness. Forgot about these. Fine. Alright, opponent. How about your teeth? Mind if I kick them in? Please let me respond to this game. Alright, thank you. 2 blockers declared. And then pump everything. Want to pay. I don't need to full control anymore. And I'll do that again. And maybe one more time for good measure. And that should be 48 damage or something like that. We did it! Oh, so good. So good. Okay. I don't know what to change. That was pretty ideal. I mean, that was a nut draw for us. That was turn 1 elves, or yeah, Llanowar Elves into Archdruid, into Genesis Wave, into Genesis Wave, into Tyvar the Pum. Yep. No notes for that one. Just run it back. Oh, that was glorious. Oh man, this video is gonna be so long for me to put the timestamps in. Maybe I'll skip it. Probably shouldn't. Ooh, Pain Desert. Can't believe we got deserted. Alright, so still have a pretty good nut draw here in terms of Elves, Archdruid, and then we can go Visionary. Oh, okay. I mean, if they have removal, things fall apart here some, but still we got free Tree City, so no responses. Oh, it's a good day to be me. I think I'll decline paying for this one. But that might have been a mistake. I just want to... Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. We get the massive Genesis Wave next turn. No way. Oh, the elves. The elves. Oh. Wait, what? I feel like we're playing against a different deck here. I forgot that. Oh yeah, I only saw their blue and green. Or sorry, words. It's okay. No think me slam. As long as we have one creature here, that should be the top 12. Right. Alright, Spell Pierce. There's no way. I didn't play around the Spell Pierce. Opponent, I need to be able to breathe. You don't have Spell Pierce, right? No way! They're not playing Spell Pierce. They're playing Offer You Can't Refuse. What? Okay, well. Opponent took me back down to reality. It's okay. Oh, I can't believe we just got Spell Pierced. Or not Spell Pierced. Offer You Can't Refuse. Sunfall! Huh? What? The opponent just was like, actually, you know what? We're not playing a creature deck. Burn. Time to exterminate the elves. Alright, well, this has been the greatest swerve that I've never expected. You're playing Sunfall? Not any sweeper, but Sunfall. Well, oh, oh, oh. Alright, well, that has been this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you watched the entire thing, thank you. And I'm glad that this best of 3 content you enjoyed. So, man, I have to say that last match, although it was kind of funny, it also sort of leaves a sour taste in my mouth because I think Sunfall gives me PTSD at this point. Damn, that's crazy. We just literally lost the Sunfall. Like, imagine if it was just any other 5-mana sweeper. We wouldn't have gotten an 8/8 token swinging at us, but nope, Sunfall. Alright, that's enough of me complaining. And anyways, that was us trying Golgari Elves in best of 3. Have a nice morning, evening, night, afternoon, wherever and whenever you're watching. Take care of yourself. Ciao.